Hey everybody, welcome to the League of Extraordinary Trainers, Week 6 of the Ultra Ball Conference. My name is Flaring Flames, Absolute Flare, whichever works. And this week I am facing the Philadelphia Phantumps with my Minneapolis Absolutes. So, immediately I see a Reggie Steele on this team, which I know for being extremely bulky and a very good user of its body press. But the rest of the team is Noivern, Piloswine, Cramorant, Lantern, and Morgrim. There we go. I almost said it's pre-evolution. Meanwhile, I brought Stoutland, Gigalith, Xurkitree, Vileplume, Claydol, and Swoobat to try and deal with them. So let's figure out how I did. I'm doing these comments a few weeks after the battle actually took place, so I may not remember everything, but we'll see what hindsight commentary sounds like. Now, immediately, the A's got two Stealth Rockers. That would be Piloswine or Registeel. And I'm not sure who I would really send in to try and deal with them right off the bat. But it looks like I am deciding to lead Swoobat, possibly to try and get set up on them, or hopefully to beat out the Piloswine. Though that being said, Swoobat's basically going to be a trade for trade with the Piloswine. Because Swoobat probably can 2-hit KO the Piloswine even through Evilite. But it's going to hit its Sash from it, or we're going to get Stealth Rock set up in our face. But that's what Claydol's for, so hopefully we won't have to worry about that. Alright. But anyways, let's start the battle and see who is coming out first. Metallo, which would lead me to believe, yep, Registeel. Who, once again, we are deathly afraid of being a body press sweeper. But we're going to go ahead and set up Nasty Claw in its face, expecting either Stealth Rocks or Iron Defense. Or a possible switch, since I don't think Registeel can safely take on a Swoobat. But he's staying in to get something done. Oh, going straight for Iron Head first. Alright, but we're at +4 for special attack, so let's go ahead and see what Heat Wave does, I guess. It's also made our Focus Sash useless now, which is unfortunate. But we have brought down that thing to pretty low levels. And now we're kind of debating what we want to hit, because if he doesn't switch, neither of the other two are going to KO it. He does switch, so now he gets to bring in something that takes the Heat Wave a lot better, which is this Light Bright. So, Lantern's still alive, but we're at +4 special attack stats, so that is a significantly powerful stored power. So ideally, it would KO this thing. However, it did not, and we just lost one of our special attackers, which is our main way of dealing with the Registeel. You know, hindsight 2020. But judging by the fact that the Lantern lived that, its item is probably Assault Vest, though I don't think I was thinking that at the time, unfortunately. But now we've got Xurkitree coming out to kind of help and deal with this guy. Now the question is Light Bright going to stay in to give me a free KO, or in this case, a free sleep? Or a free boost to speed? So we are scalding. Circuitry takes some damage, but that is alright. Because Circuitry is now at double its speed. We score the KO on this thing. And get boosting with Circuitry's Beast Boost. So we're at +2 speed, +1 special attack stat, and that special attack stat is through the roof, of course, because it's a Circuitry. So theoretically, it should outspeed everything and probably KO everything. I believe I put enough coverage on this thing, and Registeel is dented enough that Thunderbolt will KO it from where it's at. But this is barring things like Focus Sash and also Choice Scarfs. Because now we're in the realm of don't know what speeds are going to be how high. We did just figure out that the Noivern is Scarfed, though. Unfortunately, we did trade Circuitry for that. We did live on 1 HP, but any sort of priority or anything that is faster than Circuitry, like another Choice Scarfer, because we're allowed 2 items. We're allowed 2 of the same item on the same teams. So now we're at +2 speed, +2 special attack. And there's already that Choice Scarfer gone. He could have another, or he could have none. He could also have a Focus Sash. So either way, Circuitry is probably not finishing this fight, no matter how much I may want him to. And out comes Cramorant, an interesting choice considering it's quad weak to electric, so it is definitely dying. It is, however, Scarfed, apparently. I am very unfamiliar with Cramorant's stat distribution. I know it's got middling stats all around, basically. But I was pretty sure it was like base 80 for speed. And actually, while that's going on, we've got Statland, who's gonna try and just deal some damage to this thing. So that's all we can do with that. Because that thing is now stuck into Surf. We know that for a fact. Because there's no way it would outspeed otherwise. But what does my opponent do? Decides to stay in and get another Surf off. Cramorant's speed is 85. So my stat distribution is what killed me with the Circuitry there. Alright, we did. But we managed to KO the Cramorant with Retaliate. And we activated our Eject Pack, which we were saving for using Superpower on Statland. But that's alright at this point, doesn't matter too much. We did lose both of our special attackers. That is one thing that I am very concerned about at this point looking at the battle. Alright, we kicked up our Sandstorm, which will benefit Stoutland. But of course, now he can send in this thing, because it's a pretty good wall for the rest of my team. At this point, it would have been better had Stoutland not had the Eject Pack, because it probably still would have KO'd it with Superpower. And now we're trying to figure out if its attack stat is higher, if its defense stat is higher. And we decided its attack stat was higher. But this thing is setting up Iron Defense on us, and it might be high enough defense that Earthquake will not KO it. And that is unfortunately the case. Another Pokemon on his team to survive just on low HP. However, obviously not as low as my circuitry surviving on 1, but that is definitely not great. Okay. And we have decided to switch to Claydol, because Claydol is using its special attacks on the versus this thing. However, with how much defenses Registeel has to begin with, that might not even be worth anything, unfortunately. We'll find out here in a second. Scorching Sands, we're faster. And yeah, that is worth jack. Meanwhile, he just gets to keep setting up Iron Defense because why not? If Claydol's the best that I've got at this point, which I'm sure my opponent is thinking, then it's just not gonna be enough. I'd have to get a crit, and even then it could just rest. But now that is +6 to its defense stat, and with what is probably going to be a body press coming, I mean, Claydol could survive that, I think. But who actually knows? Hey, we burned it! Because that's going to matter so much. That would have mattered more had we gotten it right away. Oh yeah, that body press did nothing. But now we're fighting the fact of both sides can't do much to the other. Though I'm in the worst position because Claydol doesn't heal except for leftovers. And at this point, nothing I have is going to hit that thing better. Because we've got a super effective ground move that has stab. And it's doing only 1/4 damage. See, that time, a crit would have been absolutely brilliant. But didn't happen. Now this thing rests. Now the question is, does this thing come with Sleep Talk? Because we've seen Rest, we've seen Iron Defense, and we've seen Body Press. So its last move slot is either Stealth Rocks or it's Sleep Talk. And if it's Sleep Talk, we don't want to swap anything in, which I think is what we were kind of thinking there. Because we don't know yet. We just don't know. And it looks like his last move probably is Stealth Rocks. No, wait, it was Iron Head. That's right, we saw that early on. Alright, we are Rock Tombing here. Probably trying to lower its speed, but we forgot that one of the abilities on Registeel is Clear Body. Either that or we were predicting a switch for some reason. Alright, here comes another body press. Claydol was almost back to full health, thanks to all the leftovers recovery. But we're running out of Scorching Sands too, so it's not like we can keep this up. And we are still waiting for... Ooh, that hurt. We're still kind of waiting for that burn to happen again. Though, if we burn it, he would probably just hit rest. He's probably going to hit rest here, actually. So we can Scorching Sand here. We outspeed him. And if we got a crit, it would KO him from here. We did get the burn, but... rest. And so continues this exercise in futility. But on the plus side, we have figured out that he doesn't have Sleep Talk. Although I didn't figure that out originally, it seems, because we didn't switch initially. I mean, it doesn't really matter what we do here. The only thing that we're doing now instead of hard switching is just showing that we have teleport. Which, I mean, I'm assuming my opponent would figure that out at some point anyways. So now we have to figure out how we're going to try and KO this thing. About to send Gigalith in, but he doesn't really have enough power to deal with this thing. Neither does Stoutland, though. And with superpower, his attack stat keeps going down. So we decide to try and put Vileplume in, I guess. I think we're trying to see how much Giga Drain does. And also possibly force this thing to use Effect Spore or have it go off. I think that's kind of the main play here. Because if we get Effect Spore to put him to sleep, that'll be an unknown number of turns. We get him now. And he already took his turn, which means that his next turn is going to be his first turn of sleep. But now we've weakened our Vileplume for no real good reason. Because we didn't deal any significant damage with Giga Drain. I wasn't expecting that, but I think I was hoping for a little bit more. Anyways, his first turn of sleep. Now it's a crapshoot whether he wakes up or not. Going for superpower, hoping for the crit. Because there is no other way we are beating this thing. And much to everyone's surprise, we did in fact get the crit. I did remember that. Had we not had that crit, we definitely would not have beaten that thing right here. And I'm sure my opponent was not happy about that. Alright, but now we got Snowball, the Piloswine. Who undoubtedly has Evilite. But we're going to go ahead and put Gigalith in just to see what we're doing about what this Piloswine's about. Because after the superpower, we are not KOing that thing with another one. And we get Sandstream up so that Stoutland can be faster than the rest of the team. Though that doesn't matter too much, really. Alright, how much is the Ice Field Crash going to do? That dealt a significant amount of damage. So much so that I think one Earthquake might actually do Gigalith in. But I don't have much of another option for this, because we don't want to send Vileplume in on this thing. Oh, we did live. Which means we get a body press off for however much that's worth. Yeah, because that Evilite saves it pretty good. And now we're just wasting sand turns, but I honestly don't think he has any faster Pokemon now. No, wait, he still has the Cramorant, doesn't he? Alright. So now it looks like I am debating on who I want to send in next. We could do Claydol, and we could do Vileplume. Though, we're checking the summary because I remember what was going through my head now. We are worried about the speed on this thing. Because if Vileplume can't outspeed this thing, it doesn't matter. We can't get it down far enough that I would trust superpower on this thing. So, yep, we're going for Rock Tomb to try and get this thing slower. Of course, the risk of this is that he could KO Claydol easily. Or he could swap out. And we got Morgrim coming in now. So one of the funny things about Morgrim and Grimmsnarl is that Morgrim actually has a significantly higher special attack stat. So it is far more useful to have it as a special sweeper. Which I actually know this offhand because I've looked at Grimmsnarl's stats pretty good before. So that's kind of what I'm expecting from this thing. Nope, and we are foul playing. And we are again living on 1 HP. Alright, Sandstorm's gone, so our speed advantage is gone, but Morgrim isn't that fast. I am significantly more concerned about him giving that burn to me, though. Because if he gives me that burn, superpower is useless. Oh, but he puts up Reflect first. That is very unfortunate, which means we're already having our physical attacks cut in half. And now that he sees that I have Facade on this thing, I think he'll be a bit more leery about tricking the Flame Orb onto Stoutland. Oh, nope, he still does it anyways. So now he renders our superpower useless, and we'll end up having to just Facade the Piloswine for whatever damage we can get. Which is unfortunate, because we've already established that the... Actually, no, we never established that. I know how this battle ends, so... I'm kind of predicting how this was supposed to go. So we don't know how fast the Piloswine is compared to our Vileplume. If it's faster, we lose. If it's slower, we win. Yeah, because through that Reflect, we were not beating this thing. And now he set up Stealth Rocks, which only ensures that Vileplume's going to have even lower health to deal with the Icicle Crash if it's not faster. Man, we are so slow, though. Or not so slow. So weak. I mean, yes, we're slow. Vileplume is a slow Pokemon. Which is the main concern right now. So we have 2/3 of our health, minus whatever Stealth Rocks takes off. 12.5%? Yeah. So now, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter how this goes, because yeah, Icicle Crash hits, that's gonna be a good KO on Vileplume. Ugh, and we barely lost after we had so much good luck. But that is it, because Vileplume wasn't faster than this thing, and Claydol died to Stealth Rocks. So that is the game right there. But yeah, that was a well-played game. I definitely had a lot more luck than I should have with this, but still got beat out because of that speed. Alright, but anyways, that would put us 3-3 on week 6. So we got to make sure that if we're going to make playoffs, I have to win these next few matches. Because otherwise, then I start running into the problem of where differential is going to matter. And I haven't had very many good games that I've won by a lot. So we really need the wins, and we need to win them by a lot. Alright, but anyways, that'll be for week 7's battle to figure out. I will see you all next time with that one. And week 7, that would be... who is that? The Colorado Agrons. And this team actually just got swapped out. because my opponent had to drop, unfortunately, so they're having to play with a whole new team on that. But with all that being said, I obviously hope for a good battle, and I will see you all next time.